Hello and welcome back to Menace. My name is Sirius and this is my first attempt at beating the game on expert difficulty, so we're going to have to plan our next step carefully. We have two options. We can either protect the settlement or smoke out nests. I'm leaning more towards smoke out nests, even though I prefer the reward in the hunting lodge, because if we do this, we will have two more units that we can play with on the last mission, making it a lot easier to clear out all the alien bugs. On the other hand, if we get the reward here, it means that there is going to be less bugs on the last round, which is inevitably meaning we have less money that we can spend in the black market, which we're about to get into this in a moment, but let's talk a little bit more about these two. The reason why I am leaning more towards smoking out nests is not only cover this, but it is a little bit of that as well, because a blaster bug that is set to attack you is really difficult to deal with. They have a lot of armor, they have range, they shoot acid projectiles that can take out about 3 squaddies in one shot, and they can shoot 2 of those a turn. Yes, if you have cover, it can be great, but they have pretty good range, and so this is something I want to deal with when I have a couple promotions under my belt, which we can afford some, but I don't know if we want to afford them, because we're also going to get some new weapons, and then I don't know. Ideally, I'd also want to have 4 infantry squad leaders to protect the settlement, because the car isn't going to help much if we are stationary and in cover of a settlement. We need more firepower than just 3 squad members, as 3 squad leaders. Therefore, I'm leaning more towards smoking out nests, because on expert difficulty, this could very well cost us a lot of squaddies. This could cost us between 3, 6, even 9 squaddies just to complete this mission. So we're going out with smoke out nests. It's the easier one of the two, but it's also the more reasonable of the two. So now that we know what we're going to be up against, we can go into the black market and see what we're going to get. So let's look at this. Looks like, interestingly enough, there's some nests really close by, which I'm not sure there's going to be any bugs close by. I'm a little hesitant to start here. On the other hand, there is a lot of good cover here, so I'm actually leaning more towards starting here. It's tempting, right? It's really tempting to start close to this and just take it out really early, but I just don't know what's going to be in the vicinity. I'd rather not start directly next to a nest. So we're going to start over here instead. We're going to put Carter there. And we're going to do it somehow like this. I think that's good. All right. So let's see what we're working with. We are actually at max here, so in order to get new weapons we would need to drop a couple things, like for example drop this, and that should potentially allow us to take shotgun. So let's get into the black market and get the shotgun. Yeah. So that is the shotgun that I wanted. As you can see, it has the accuracy modifier of 20, meaning it's really accurate even in the hands of someone isn't very accurate. The range is limited, but it has very good hit point damage if we compare that to our current weapon, which we are going to do now on Kada. If we switch to this, it is 18 more points. The stone-clad shotgun here has more hit point damage and more armor damage, less armor penetration, more suppression, and has way more accuracy. It is honestly a really solid weapon. You're just gonna have to get up and close with the aliens a little bit more than you might want to. For that reason, I will eventually want to put armor on Carter.
That's the job.
So we have 19 more points, which means We might be able to switch Jane also to a better weapon. Something with a little bit more range and a little bit more oomph. So let's see. We have 19 more points. This costs 63. So what I'm looking at is this breaker crowbar here. Let's go ahead and take this as well. And then once again, we can look at the difference between these two. As you can see, more range, more hit point damage, more armor penetration. It's overall just an upgrade. Like, there's nothing that should make you dislike this weapon compared to the carbine other than the price. It's pretty much exactly the same weapon, just better. So, and that leaves us with 1 point, which means we're not going to get a promotion. We don't have the points for that. I could drop a squaddy here, which then would give me promotion power, but I'd rather take the squaddy than take the promotion at this point, I think. The only kind of promotion I'd be looking at is on Kada anyway. The scout or athletic ability. Athletic would really help us out. Athletic would actually really help us out, so I'm tempted, and then we can take some more ammo here. And we take athletic on Kada, because that really helps out with the shotgun. We could of course also drop Bog, drop the vehicle, but I still like to have it. Alternatively, we could get the recycled parts here, which means we can then take more things. I'm gonna have to think about that for a moment. Alright, yes, I think I've decided I am going to take this, because if my calculations are correct, this should give us 66 more supply points.
Damn straight, little doggy.
There we go, we now have 69 points to spend. That means we can actually take a full squad here as well, with 20 points to spare, so we could get a promotion if we had the promotion points. We just don't, so there's that. We already have everything we need. Sadly, we can't take the weapon. I am contemplating just taking the weapon and instead dropping this ammo and just taking 7 squads. I think this is the better setup, because then we have the weapon in case we want it. It has good rate of fire anyway, and good damage, so it's probably better than one squaddy with a carbine. Alright, so we're ready. This is the best I can do with my current setup, I think. You might disagree, but well, this is my playthrough anyway, so let's go.
No matter what happens, it's all
Alright, we're in, and oh, by the way, I did not want to sound dismissive over there, or back there. I do appreciate every comment, and when someone points out that maybe something I've picked was not ideal, or that perhaps it may be better to pick up a different weapon, or suggesting things. However, I may not listen. I'm already warning you, I may not listen, because I'm gonna play the game the way I want to play it, and if what you suggest to me does not fit into my playstyle, I'm not going to bother. We're going to stay right there though, blocking this intersection.
Sir?
And we're going to have Kada move here.
Bugs! Ugh, gross!
Alright, we have bugs.
Sir.
Let's see then.
Orders?
These are the close range type, or the warrior type, I should say. So they'll come toward us if they see us, but I don't think they are very aware of us. But they might be aware of the vehicle, so they are going to come in, perhaps. I'm gonna leave Pike right here, I think. But we are going to give Jane some AP to see just how good the accuracy might be from where she is.
Let's do this.
something moved, but it was not either of those, so there might be a third bug here somewhere. Alright, Jane. This thing has slightly more accuracy. You can see the sweet spot for this is at kind of 7 tiles, and it is very inaccurate on close range, so you actually want to have high range on this. And as you can see, we have pretty good accuracy here. Since this is a 9 range weapon, we basically know that if we are aiming and we're 2 tiles away from the border, that's basically our sweet spot. So this is just 1 tile out, so accuracy is still relatively good there, but the damage isn't going to be as high. Still, because there's a lot of bugs here, we will probably want to take a preemptive shot. So let's go ahead. Alright, that was pretty good. I think that is 3 entities at least down out of how many are there? I don't even know. Counting. Now there's 4 down out of 8. So that was pretty good. Destroyed half of them. Well done. I don't know why there's these random shots every now and then. It's kind of really odd. Anyhow, we have bugs galore out here, and well, the biggest problem we're gonna have is that either of these can move after we've made our first move, so we're gonna have to choose very carefully who we are going to do this with. Kada can take this shot, and it's definitely going to wipe them out. However, then these bugs can act, and they are likely in range. On the other hand, Jane doesn't have the most accurate shot on either of these, but she can at least shoot both of them. Pike could shoot both of them as well, but might lack the damage.
Sir?
If she was just 1 step further, it would be absolutely perfect, because then we would have range on this. Kind of a tricky spot to be in. We have better accuracy here, but less damage.
Eyes open.
Worse accuracy here, but more damage. I'm going to go with this option and hope I don't regret it. Okay, so far so good. Now we're just going to have to hope that this goes really well for us. Movement costs us 16 points. Yeah, if we get up, that's 20 plus 16. Yeah, no, we can't move. We're gonna have to take the shot from here. Okay, great. They're fleeing, which means they're at least not going to advance. They might not flee the battle completely, but they're not going to advance on us anymore.
Yeah.
And they may have actually left the battle completely. There's some bugs.
Who, sir?
Pretty good range here, I'd say, so I think we're gonna give this shot to Kada. Yeah.
Ready on my signal.
And we're gonna get up and move. We should be safe.
Always ready.
Alright, and there you go. It's a max range shotgun here with 56 accuracy. We're not even deployed. Let's see how this goes. Yeah, the damage the damage on the shotgun really makes up for it. That it's not so accurate, and as you saw, we nearly didn't even need the whole volley there of shotgun shells. We already killed them just easy, and it comes with a lot of ammunition.
Yeah.
Alright, now we're gonna have to move out, and I'm thinking we're gonna move here. Here, actually.
Take that out right now,
Alright, that's a good
sir.
target here for Carta, and as I said, I want them to come toward me, right? So this time we're deployed, this should be easy.
Bugs eliminated.
Hello there, it's post-edit Sirius, and we are entering a longer time lapse here because there's a lot of repetitive things happening, so I figured this format might be better. So as I'm approaching these eggs, I thought that I had to interact with them, so I am deploying close to them so that I can get ready to interact, but eventually I realized that all I need to do is shoot them. So there's that.
Structure cleared.
Now that we have that out of the way, I really needed to decide if I wanted to go toward the right or the left. Ultimately decided I'd go left, since then I'd have that out of the way and I can snake through the others before doing the sweep. And even though there's no bugs on the screen, I stand by my rule, because I'm in Ironman mode after all, that I should always be safe. Bugs don't come with a lot of ranged or alien light. Wildlife doesn't come with a lot of ranged units. Still, I feel better if I am in cover and deployed, since, well, you never know when a blaster bug might crawl onto your screen. And I'm also keeping the car facing toward where I'm going as much as possible, because it has the most amount of armor in the front. And then I also like to just explore with the car, since, well, the bugs can't really do much against it. So even if they do attack it, most of them don't deal that much damage to it, and most of the damage is just armor damage. There's not that much armor penetration actually. And so I can kind of use it to explore around and draw them in and then take them out with Carta, as you may have just seen there. And again, we're just trying to draw them in, and it works perfectly. We draw them in, they come down, and then we take them out with the shotgun. Also, please let me know if the time lapses are a format that you can get behind. I'm still a little unsure because, well, it's a strategic game, so honestly, I feel like every aspect of the game should be talked about and discussed. However, once I've discussed a couple times that I'm moving here and I'm getting into cover and I'm ready for them to come to me with just similar structures to hide behind, similar enemies that we're dealing with, similar situations, I feel that, you know, we might as well time-lapse some of the stuff. But let me know what you think about it, and let me know if you want music or if you want me to talk about what I'm doing. We're now heading toward this industrial complex here, which is in front of the next nest, which is at the very edge of a map. So we're just doing the same thing, moving with the car first so that we can have the most amount of armor in the front. Keeping Carta in the car because she has the least amount of range and can deal with most threats the most efficiently. And then eventually deploying her when we think that we might need to interact with stuff. This time, also I know that I can shoot the nest from a distance, so I'm using Broad for that to save some ammunition on the rest of the squad. We're about to get back into the car, and somehow I always forget how much AP I need to get into the car, and even mess up because I didn't even think about that I could potentially use Pike there. Alright, we're just gonna move slowly but surely. Okay, we've got some bugs there, and these are kind of difficult to deal with. But Bog actually did very well against them in the last round. And if we can get Carta out, she's also really good at taking them out, so we might actually just move toward them.
Come closer.
more of them. Okay, so he did pretty well last time. Can I rotate to here and still have... No. Okay, but we can rotate here and still have a shot. I think we're gonna take this shot here. Okay, one entity down at least. Let's position Jane next. I'm gonna position her in here.
Sir.
Then
Ready
give
up, my
her
son.
a shot she needs to take and stand Pike up.
Orders?
Alright, that should be a pretty good shot. Yep, that's really good. So let's go ahead and take that. Alright, that could have been better, but...
Always ready.
Alright, and now we can take Kada out here. Which is going to cost us a lot of movement. So I'm hoping we get out.
Hostiles advancing.
And I'm not sure those bugs are there. You probably just want to take cover here. Or here. Let's take cover here.
Yeah.
Let's get the car here. We can probably get this kill. Nope. He's just way too inaccurate.
Sir?
I don't mind them focusing on the car, that's actually really good for me. Okay, I was about to say,
Keep the Xenos off us.
gee, please. So here's the thing, we still have 13 rounds on Kada, but we're kind of running low on ammo for Jane, and Pike still has most of his ammo, but he also has the worst of the weapons, so... We do want to get the kills though, because I think if they're fleeing, we don't get the rewards. Or the loot, I should say, so... I just don't want them to run away, right? I think Pike would be good enough to take this shot. We're just gonna... And as you can see, they're mostly focusing on the car because everybody else is concealed. So let's see, can we get Pike into a position where he can take a shot? Can he do it from here? Yes, just about. Okay, this is low accuracy, but let's just hope. Okay, yeah, no. They're gonna run away and we're gonna disband. Okay, well. It's okay. I think we're gonna take this. Also just got them to fleeing. Not ideal. There they are. Alright. Do we have range on them? Yes, we do. Let's take them out.
That's it. Stack them like sandbags.
And we want this kill, so...
Almost feel bad for those bugs.
bugs.
Xenos!
Sir,
Okay, it's not great, but we're still going to try to use up this ammo here. We have so much.
contact.
Almost not worth it, but oh well.
We had
Oh yeah, that was definitely not worth it. Gee, yeah, I should have taken my shot with Jane. I completely forgot that they're gonna be able to move. Ah, that was a misstep on my end. We can't lose another squad member now.
All right, good.
There we go. Retribution fire there.
Sir?
Alright, these guys have a good amount of armor, as you can see, 30 armor, so armor penetration is nice against them, but
Sir?
the armor damage is actually better. So, let's see the shotgun in action against some bigger critters here. I was kind of wondering where all the big critters are, but there they are. And
You're a Xeno exterminator.
now they're full of holes. Perfect. And we're just gonna stay here. Yeah, because there's more.
Eyes on.
I don't know if we have a range though. Instead we're gonna compare with the crowbar. Two entities, let's see if we can take them out as well and just one bomb. Not quite. Still pretty good shooting. I'm not sure if I'm gonna take... Yeah, we're gonna take the shot.
I'm on a roll today.
There we go. We've completed destroy 80 of them. So there's still gonna be some more. Give some shooting practice to Pike. Not a bad idea.
Always ready.
Okay.
We've got movement.
That's the critter I was waiting for. There's always gonna be at least one. Alright, how are we gonna do this? I think Pike is in a good position to give Kada some assistance. Kara's probably the best one to take this out right now. However, they still get their turn.
Orders.
So we might want to just start shooting before that. Because, see, that's the thing. It's the start of the turn. They still get their turn. If I move Bog out there, they might shoot the vehicle. And that is going to hurt. So we'll want to keep distance here and just shoot with Jane, hoping that it's going to deal some damage. I mean, we have the new weapon now, so it might actually deal some decent damage. Let's look how well this is going to go.
On target.
It's still standing. Oh.
Yeah.
Alright, but now it's scattered off, and now we're gonna go after it with Bog and Carter. The good thing about this is that Carter has very low movement, but we can get her closer by moving the car closer.
Hold on.
Right, so we can go all the way out here. Maybe this is not the best spot. Maybe we want to go one back. So that we can get Carter here. These guys still have their turn. So I want to be a little careful there. Yeah, if we reverse by one, then actually getting Carter here is probably the best spot. So let's see if we can move this like so. Okay.
Sir?
And then we can get Carter here. That's probably the best spot for her. And shoot the thing.
Bug's taken care of.
All right, good job.
No, sir.
And we can get some more shooting practice here with Pike.
Listen up. We're moving.
Let's do this. On point and on time. Job well done.
All right, on point, on time. Only one squaddy lost due to a stupid mistake. And I think we've killed all the aliens on the map. So let's get our rewards. 3 of 5 objectives done. That's 18 promotion points. It could be better, right? Like, of course, you know, getting more promotion points would be great, but anyway, we got a lot of rewards here. So let's check again. How is the kill count here? We have 6 on Jane, 13 on Carter, which is really good, 3 on Pike, and 3 on Bog. So overall, I would say this was really good. And also,
The mission is in perfect order.
both Jane and Carter got Euphoric, which gives them 10% accuracy, discipline, morale, and damage reduction. So the last mission should be a doozy now. Anyway, that took me a whole hour. So yeah, the next mission is also going to be in another episode. So we're going to look at the next mission and how we are going to plan for this in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you then.